we go. Sons of the Forest exclusive hands-on preview right now. Yo, this music!
Unlike some of its peers, The Forest, the survival horror game from Canadian-based studio Dynamite Games, delivered on not just the popular gather and craft survival game format, but also added a surprisingly complex
Let's just go all the way up.
and equally bananas story featuring cannibals and mutants.
It was a great story.
With the arrival of its long-awaited sequel, Sons of the Forest, comes not only the pressure to top the beloved experience of the original, but also to add some new and increasingly wild surprises.
Truth.
And based on the 5 hours that I've played so far, I'm not only excited about the sequel's potential, but also confident that Dynamite could revolutionize the survival genre.
Yeah, this game's made by Dynamite Games. Yeah, it's a sequel. It's a sequel.
The Forest begins with a simple premise. You've crash-landed on a mysterious peninsula and begin your quest to survive at all costs. There is also the optional objective of finding your kidnapped son, a task that would take you down a wild and disturbing narrative rabbit hole populated by flesh-hungry mutants. Sons of the Forest largely shares the same setup, substituting your son for a missing billionaire. It's a basic idea, but one that allows you to jump straight into the action, allowing players who have no intention of progressing the rescue mission to solely focus on building their very own lakeside resort.
Yo, look at that. Oh my.
Just like its predecessor.
Look at that chop, dude. Oh my God. That was like, dude, I don't know what it was, man. Look, the ASMR tingle, when people are whispering in my ear, it doesn't really do it for me. But this right here, dude, it was like all up my freaking body, dude. It went all the way down to my
solely focus on building their very own lakeside resort with some friends right away. Just like its predecessor, you can play, build, and cause chaos with 7 of your friends in co-op, but you can still see everything Sons of the Forest has to offer in single player. The big difference this time though, is that even when you play solo, you're not alone. Enter Calvin. At the very start of Sons of the Forest, you're introduced to Calvin, an elite soldier who not only survived the helicopter crash that stranded you on the island, but is also very much along for the survival ride as an AI companion.
Yo, that's sick!
While Calvin has suffered some major head trauma that's left him unable to speak, his injuries have not, perhaps surprisingly, prevented him from being extremely helpful. In an apparent effort to replicate the multiplayer experience for solo players, Calvin will follow you around and respond to commands issued via a bunch of handy quick select options on a notepad. He'll take orders to see out your less than desirable
chop that sheep, bro.
Such as chopping down trees and gathering logs.
Yo, Kelvin's gonna be such a dumb man. I'm so excited, bro. We're gonna be spending hours and hours and hours with Kelvin, man.
During my hands-on, the value of having an AI companion was immensely noticeable. There was a huge benefit to sending Calvin off to find resources, while my co-op partner and I focused on designing our structure. I'd regularly turn around to find a fresh pile of logs for our disposal, with Calvin already on his merry way to collect more. Not only will Calvin somewhat provide company for solo players, but he offers helpful, time-saving resources even when in a group, putting a significant dent in the busy work of a survival game. This affords more time to either sculpt a masterpiece or plow forward on the cannibal killing quest. Calvin has a mind of his own though, well, at least to some degree. He sits down to rest when he gets tired and seeks water when he's thirsty. He'll also become upset if you treat him poorly, which makes him less productive and thus decreases the value as a companion. And if you decide you're not interested in having a worker bee along for the ride, you have the option to disable Calvin in the most realistic way possible. Shoot him in the head and you'll remove him from your session. Permanently.
Dude, I know what's gonna happen, bro. I'm gonna be shooting a zombie. He's gonna walk in front and I'm gonna shoot him in the head and we're gonna be screwed, bro. We're gonna be screwed. Dude, I know what's gonna freaking happen. The zombie's gonna come in. I'm gonna shoot. It's gonna hit him instead and we lose him like day 1. All right, that's probably what's up.
You're limited to 1 Calvin per multiplayer session, so the dream of a legion of Calvins can't be fulfilled. But the developers assured me that there are other companions you can find as you progress, each with their own unique AI. During my playtime, I caught a glimpse of Virginia, a mutant with 3 arms and 3 legs. She quickly scarpered once I approached her, and definitely had more of a skittish sensibility than Calvin. But the developers told me that she can eventually be recruited, and will become attached to you over time, should you be kind.
Dude, she's got like 3 arms,
her
4 arms!
For that of an elusive and independent cat,
3 legs,
which stands in opposition to Calvin's lovable and obedient dog. The AI improvements aren't limited to just companions though. On our expedition we came...
Dude, she had a shotgun in this one. She had like a pistol in this one. She was like, you know what I mean?
Across several groups of enemies, ranging from a cluster
Totally
of cannibals
blinked up.
to a mob of monstrosities, each demonstrating their own impressive decision-making abilities. It felt like my enemies were thinking and making active decisions based on not only my actions, but also their situations and environment. Particularly in first-person horror games, enemies generally have two modes of behavior,
Yo, look at that
patrol
Ash.
and attack. But in Sons of the Forest, some foes would just be extremely wary and just interested in watching what I do, while others would charge in aggressively, only to back down when things didn't go their way.
Dude, they look
I saw
kind of
enemies
like
consult-
similar to the other ones, because the other ones would kind of rush at you and then they'd like, oh, like, dude, it's kind of freaky looking, you know? Like, it feels like they're real. It really does feel like they're real, man.
their fallen friends, changing their clothes depending on the weather conditions, and even
Dude, the
trying
guy's
to
got a
destroy my
turtleneck
newly
on.
erected home when my back was turned. It was clear to see that the enemy's brains were not only following coded rules, but also adapting their thoughts based on the external influences. The developers explained
Yo, what
to me
up,
that
Max?
certain enemies with leadership qualities can influence the decisions of others, and even promote ideas in their ranks such as religion, and that each individual has their own tastes, desires, and proclivities.
Oh my God. Sounds W?
From my small taste of Sons of the Forest, I didn't really get a sense of how deep this system is and how much it'll affect your experience. But the teasers I saw filled my mind with dozens of possibilities. I saw enemies adapting to changing their ecosystem and weather conditions, which now cycle through seasons that change as you progress. I even accidentally triggered a war after I stupidly opened the entrance to the game's complex underground cave network and released a faction of mutants into the domain of another tribe. My simple decision caused their living space to change and encouraging
That
them
is
to adjust
crazy.
their focus. And after that little taste of chaos, I can't wait to see how flexible this system can be. As you'd expect, the titular forest makes a return, and it looks better than ever. From the complex density of foliage, to the gorgeous rainfall and beautifully lit cave stalactites amongst the hanging corpses and mutant fetuses, the graphical power on show here rivals the majority of AAA releases. It was a joy to explore without even the slightest hint of
Oh my
repetition
God,
in
that's
its
sick.
design. With a tease of bunkers, villages, and God knows what else in a world that's promised to be 4 times larger than the original, I can easily see myself getting lost and then sidetracked in the wilderness for hours on end. But at its core, Sons of the Forest is a survival game, and so when you're not exploring, there's a good chance you're building. The construction tools have been significantly overhauled.
This is what I want to hear about right here, okay? Because we love a good base builder, baby. We love, and honestly, I love when it's a first person, like realistic base builder. Oh my God, dude, you'll just see my, oh man.
Gone are the floating blue ghost building blocks, replaced by user-friendly, realistic presentation of wilderness carpentry. Instructions are more literal, and actions are contextual. Instead of just loading resources into a ghost version of the final product, you're now free to, with magnetic and snapping assistance, manually place logs and sticks in the direction that you'd like.
Look how he's
allowing
chopping
for
those.
complete customization of your structure.
Did you guys just hear that? So you can chop, what I'm hearing is you can chop that log to a certain length that you need for your building. Let's just hear that one more time. Like it doesn't have to be in a certain
Of the final product, you're now free to, with magnetic and snapping assistance, manually place logs and sticks in the direction that you'd like, allowing for a complete customization of your structure instead of following a predetermined design. My partner, Calvin, and I immediately set to work on building a lakeside domicile of our own. And what began as a traditional design immediately
Bro, we're gonna be
blossomed
live for like 24 hours when we play this shit, bro. I don't even know what to do. You know?
when we realized the only limitation was our imagination. You're working on every placement by hand, and thus the structural points present not only a decision, but an opportunity for expression. I was informed that the option of the more traditional blueprint builds is still there for the purists, but I found the DIY construction far more appealing than the IKEA approach.
This is so
Then,
sick.
of course, there's the optional story to follow. From the teasers in the trailers, this is implied to be bigger and perhaps even crazier than the original, and hopefully continues directly on from the Forest's cliffhanger. But amongst the time spent constructing and fighting off hordes of cannibals, I didn't really get a sense of how the story was going to go beyond the initial premise. It did feel very familiar to the story of the forest though, which I guess makes sense in the term of dropping players right into the action. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have concerns that it could potentially retread old ground. My hope is this simply serves as a jumping off point to go in some truly crazy directions, and it develops a narrative through line from the first game that still feels cohesive. But time will tell once I get my hands on the full game and manage to pull myself away from building a replica of the Ewok village and destroying the lives of the unsuspecting locals. Sons of the Forest appears to evolve and build on every aspect of its predecessor, with a focused goal of realism and developing
Oh, you can just Schmeagle that shit, dude. You guys ever seen that when Schmeagle did that? He was like, a juicy fish, so soft and sweet. He's like, that dude, yeah, that's what he did.
And it feels like the building blocks are there to create something truly special. But its killer feature is the addition of impressively sophisticated and smarter AI enemies and companions that could not only provide a huge leap forward for the series, but the survival game genre as a whole.
Oh my God. The sounds, bro.
And if you like that video,
did you hear the sounds? The sounds. When did this video come out?
Sons of the Forest is mere months away, and...
Okay. Seen that one. Wow. Chatterbox, you guys excited? You guys stoked? February 23rd, it's going down. All right? Okay, not to mention that, but so first off in February, we've got Hogwarts Legacy on February 10th. Okay, so we'll be playing Hogwarts Legacy quite a bit, February 10th, past. And then we'll be doing Sons of the Forest, my dude, after that. Look, I'm not going to say I'm freaking excited, but I'm feeling something. You know what I mean? Like, woo! I'm feeling something, bro. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited, too, because we'll make some, like, tube videos out of that stuff and everything. Because I'll be honest with you guys, dude, on stream, it's going to look... It's a lot of foliage and all that kind of shit. And on stream, it'll look a little bit, it ain't going to look the greatest because it's through a live stream. But I'm going to record it, and we will make videos out of it. It'll be sick nasty, dude. But it's gonna be really cozy. It's gonna be nice, man. We're gonna be sitting there. We're gonna be building our base. We're gonna be fighting off freaking zombies. Boom. Okay, we're gonna be okay. But first off, we got Hogwarts Legacy, which looks absolutely insane. It looks even better than what we thought it would look like. You know what I mean? Because at first it was like starting to look like, maybe it's just like a cheapo, but dude, they showed the entire world. It's like so big, dude. You can go like so many different places. You got like different mounts you can ride, that kind of stuff. Oh my, it's gonna be nasty. Okay, we're gonna pre-order it too, so we'll get it like 72 hours early or whatever, and so that'll be pretty sick, pretty disgusting, pretty gross. And I'm excited, man. Hey, if you're watching this video on YouTube, by the way, make sure you guys like and subscribe. That was Sons of the Forest. February is gonna be great.